Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. It's Mary Jane, and we're going to be talking about Nasir's new album. Oh, what a wonderful album. So let's start off with track number 1, Not For Radio. The beat did match. It was a good beat, but it was the lyrics. The lyrics is what sold the album. The lyrics is everything. The beats wasn't all that great because some of the beats did not match, Nas's voice. It almost sounds like Nas was yelling a little bit over some of the beats, and the beats were kind of like drowned it out. It just like it didn't match, but the lyrics and just Nas's confidence and rapping and his lyrical talent, his lyrical ability sold everything. He didn't need no beats. He could have just rapped freestyle with no beats and it would have still been a masterpiece. I am gonna call this album a masterpiece. I actually listened to it about 4 times. This is great. I mean, it's the mature Nas. It's the Nas that wants to let everybody know in the world the knowledge, the wisdom, what he's been through, what he's trying to do and where he's trying to go and where he's trying to bring his people to follow with buying land, buying property, and also letting people know their history. Not like he needs to teach them, but he wants his music to reflect his lifestyle now. His life is very different from when he was in the 90s. He's a mature adult, and this is for the people that don't know. And then for the people that do know about their history, this is just magnificent. It makes you feel good. It's a feel good album. It's an album that gives you hope, that makes you want to keep fighting, makes you want to keep going, because people understand. You got somebody that out there that understands you, and then there's millions of people that's listening to Nas album that actually understands too as well. So as a collective environment, people are going to raise up and have the power, because this is powerful music. This is music that the Egyptian gods, our ancestors would love. So the first album, Not For Radio, is about Kemet, the black gods, Egyptian gods, voting. You know how the voter registry was all messed up. They was turning people away at the door. They had no more voter cards. And talking about John Hanson was the first president, but he really wasn't. And they're talking about the first black president. And, a lot of people don't know that a lot of the presidents had African-American blood, had African blood in them, had melanin blood in them. And so, he's also giving you that information where you actually take this knowledge that you receive from Nas and you go and look, and it'll inspire a lot of people to do that as well. And he also talks about, President Abraham Lincoln, that he did not free the slaves. The slave rose up to fight, and that's why you got the proclamation. And also he's talking about how they fought back, because everybody's trying to say that slaves, just laid around and just let things happen, like, Kanye West said slavery was a choice. So he kind of like addressed that too as well. And it was like a lot of this album was addressing like Kanye West issues with his problems and his mental abilities and things like that. I think it was like metaphors for Kanye West to realize too as well with this album. And I think Nas was trying to pinpoint a lot of different things. And also Nas talk about, in that same song, Not For Radio, the SWAT, how the SWAT team was created to destroy the Black Panthers. A lot of people don't know that. And also talking about who created crack. The Colombians made crack. It wasn't no black man in the hood. It wasn't the ghetto people or the poor people that made crack. The Colombians actually made crack, and the government helped them ship it over here and sell it in our neighborhoods. And also he talks about Fox News. There's a black man that started Fox News, and I believe Nas is talking about Juan Williams, because Fox News started in 1996, and Juan Williams was at Fox News in 1996. But when you go to Google and you say black man that started Fox News, his name comes up. But when it says the owner and the founders, you don't see Juan's name. So I don't know if the owners that are of Fox News are black and they just pass as white, because that's very prominent in the dominant society. If you can pass, please believe me, they will try to pass and act like they don't know anything that's black. But I'm getting the feel that Juan Williams actually started Fox News, because the information about Juan Williams, it seems like he was the founder, he started it, but they're not giving him the credit for it. So that is good information for people to look up and find out. And then also when he talks about Edgar Hoover, he was the head of the FBI, and I believe Nas was saying that he was black. And now that brings me back to the correlation of a lot of the back in the day when the mob was very prominent and ran everything. saying they wanted Edgar Hoover to go after the mob to stop the gambling, stop the prostitution, stop all the other stuff that the mob was doing, and you know, the unions and raising money. That's why it's so expensive to live in New York, because of the unions and because of the mob. And Edgar Hoover never wanted to go after the mob. He kept saying the mob did not exist. He also said, you know, he's going to focus on communists and not on, you know, the mob. And now a lot of people were saying, like in a lot of different documentaries, that, you know, Edgar Hoover, the reason why he didn't go after the mob like he was supposed to is because the mob had a secret on him. And a lot of people were saying that the secret was that Edgar Hoover was gay, but a lot of people believe that he was gay, so that's, and that mob had, you know, information on him. But now it makes sense with Nas saying that Edgar Hoover is black, because now it makes sense the reason why Edgar Hoover didn't go after the mob, because they probably knew that he was black. So that, these are like all types of fun facts that a lot of people can just go out and learn. And this is from an album that you can go study. Like, this is what music is all about. This is what I'm talking about. So great song. I mean, it might even be my number one song, but I'm between two other songs. And then the next song is White Label. It was a good beat. It went with Nas's voice. I did like the song, but also the song White Label sounded like it didn't belong on an album. It just sounded like something that he would do on a studio and just release it, or something, you know, he'll rap publicly. It didn't sound like an album song, but Nas has changed. Nas is different. So White Label was a good song too as well. You know, lyrical. Number not for radio lyrical. White Label lyrical, and then we go and number so I like skip order. So we'll just go to Cop Shot the Kid. Cop Shot the Kid is a great song. You have to actually listen to that song like maybe twice. Sometimes you'll get it in the number one listen, but like the beat was Slick Rick, bringing Slick Rick back was just like awesome. It was great. The beat just had you like, it was almost like if it was African drumming beat, like Caribbean beat, like empowerment beat, like beats for the gods, the way the beat went. So it was really nice. And then having, you know, Nas rap on that, and then we know that cops are shooting at kids, and it is summertime now, and in the summertime, that's when we have a lot of fatal shootings, whether it's black on black crime or whether it's the cop killing African American men, males, melanin men, indigenous males, Moors. So this song was lit and had a lot of knowledge about kids just getting killed, and you know, parents don't supposed to bury their kids. And then also he has a little line that says pour out a little liquor, which reminds me of Tupac Shakur. Happy birthday, Tupac Shakur. And also it was a good song. Like you could jam that. It's a banger, but you have to listen to it twice. It has in the midst of the song, the chorus part where cop shot the kid or whatever. It kind of throws you off a little bit, but then the beat goes back up. So that is a great song, great message. It's just letting people know, letting all of Nas's fans know, people who support him, who follow him, you know, let them know that there's some innocent kids out here getting killed by the popos, by the police, by the beast. So that was a great song. And also Bonjour is definitely a banger. It sounds like Nas was yelling a little bit over the beat. It sounds like, you know, he had to be louder than the beat, but you actually get to hear Nas. The beats of the songs didn't drown him out because he was louder, which kind of throws it off a little bit. But then the lyrics and then the flow, when you listen to it, you can just feel it. So Bonjour was a great song. It also seems like that song was towards his ex-wife, Khalees. It seems like he was addressing some things with her, having babies with the right woman and things like that. And it's also featured Tony Williams, which was a great song. And he's a great Tony Williams is a great artist, was a great artist. But also, let's get back to Cops Shot the Kid. Richard Pryor is on that song too as well. So it's like he bringing Richard Pryor. Like, who does that? Nas. So, and Slick Rick too. So it was just epic, you know. And it had a message out there. So protect your kids. But if you have nieces, nephews, cousins, just watch out for your kids, because it's summertime. Summertime is always killing season for African Americans and melanin people, indigenous people, brown people. And so we're moving on to Everything. Everything is featuring Dream and Kanye West. The lyrics of Nas is just absolutely amazing. And I believe that Nas wrote Kanye West lyrics, but I don't think Kanye West, well, let me get back to Cop Shot the Kid. I don't think Kanye West should have been on that song, because, you know, he's on that song with, you know, Pusha T talking about he can slide by the police like a drive-through with his mega hat on, with his Make America Great hat on. So I don't think he has the right to be on that type of song, because he don't believe cops shoot the kids. He support Trump. So he don't believe the cops do anything wrong. So especially how he's supporting them, and he acts like and slavery was a choice. I don't think he belongs on the song. I don't think he even belonged on the album. I don't think he belonged making the beats, but, you know, Nas has to do what he has to do. So getting back to Everything is a great song, very lyrical. Kanye West was on the song too as well. You know, if I had everything, I'll change everything. You know, like if I ruled the world, I'll change it. If this world was mine, it reminds you of that. But having Kanye West on that song, it makes you think that, you know, if Kanye West did have everything, if he can change everything, he will have black people in concentration camps. You know, it would be bad for black people if Kanye West could change everything and rule everything. And who would want Kanye West to rule and change things, because we don't know where he will go. Well, in my opinion, he will go towards destroying the African American community, the indigenous people, the Moor people, in my opinion, with his new behavior, his new acts, his cooning. So he didn't belong on this song either, but it was still a great song because Nas carried the song. The song was great. The lyrics, the lyrics was just epic, especially when he talks about, kids being injected by immunizations, and you don't know if the immunization could actually destroy a kid, make them handicapped, make them disabled. And then on top of that, you introduce your child to this pain when you're supposed to protect your child. And some people will get that, and some people will be like, oh no, because so many people are used to being taking shots from the doctor. No matter what the doctor say, they'll take a shot. So that was very nice and very important. Another message where people can go and look up what immunization is, how many people it hurt, how many people it destroyed, what can you do naturally so you don't have to have your kids take these shots to the newer generation and the kids that are coming up. So it's good information for males and females that are going to have children. And also, talking about Starbucks, they're racist, having people arrested, Nestle having black people arrested, Target, they're being targeted. And then also talking about, in his Maybach having yellow taxi cab seats. So it reminds him of New York and remind him that he was poor, so he doesn't forget where he came from, and he doesn't want to be reminded. And then he felt like he didn't feel good about having so much money, but now he's trying to buy land, he's trying to buy property, he's trying to get that message out where, he's trying to buy the land that our people used to own, our people used to have. He's trying to buy it back. He's trying to buy acres, land, property, and everything, and also teach that to, the generation, the older generation and the young generation. And I talked about it a lot in previous videos that I have put out there about buying land, buying property, buy the land in your community, because you can change it, you can make it better. But if you could be able to buy property and land, if you got to get with 5 people, 4 people, but get together and do it, and get around people that you can trust, that you can buy this property and this land and build it up so you can have who you want in your community, so you don't have to be forced out of your community, or you're not allowed to be in this community. So it was so good for him to talk about buying property and land, acres, and what was taken from my people, trying to give it back, and just being somebody from the hood and being able to do that was excellent. He killed the lyrics. It's a banger all day, every day. And then now we're gonna move on to Adam and Eve with Dream. This is a banger. This is also another banger. The beat actually matched Nas's voice, and the lyrics was epic. And then we're gonna move on to sample things. Sample things remind you of the 90s. It reminds you of a 90s Nas, but more mature. The beat was the music and the beat behind it was slow, where you could just hear Nas just flow fluently, just like a karate, like just knowing gravity and motion and words. It just, it was just so beautiful. It's a dynasty. And the beat matches his voice. And also in this song, I think he's addressing his baby's mother. I think he's addressing Nicki. And I think he's addressing his ex-wife Khalees about women and going here, going there, jumping from this dude to that dude. It didn't work. They leave me and go here, and all this other stuff. So it seems like he was addressing some of the females in his life. Probably most recently would be Khalees, because she tried to sabotage his name and make him look bad as a male. But also for Not For Radio, Puff Daddy was also in this song, and I just must say that the beat matches Nas's flow. This album was epic in my opinion, and this long recap, a review of the album. But love you, Nas. You did a great job. Much love, my brother. Keep up the good work.